I'm really pleased to introduce you all to Danielle Long, who is a candidate for the board of the Tutors Association. Danielle, please, over to you.
Hi, just wait for that timer. Hello. Hi, so my name is Danny. I live in Northumberland. I work for the National Learning Group, but I also tutor for myself. My path into tuition was very different. COVID was actually a massive point in my life where I thought I can do more for my students than I can in the classroom. During COVID, before COVID, we lived in China, me and my family, and we came during Chinese New Year to visit parents, etc. in the UK, and we got stuck here. We lost absolutely everything. So every picture, every single thing that was meaningful, was left in China. And I started to tutor my class online from like the February. So it was quite intense because I was having to teach every single child individually because they were privately educated and they were paying for it. But I learned so much about what works and what doesn't work. And I decided pretty much from that moment, from when I stopped teaching my classroom, that this was the thing for me, that I was able to make such a huge difference by having one-on-ones and group lessons online than I ever could in the classroom because of all of the red tape that goes around it. I also stopped sort of feeling that passion that you feel in your first years of teaching because of all of the things that I didn't agree with. So I decided that I would just tutor full-time, and it's the best decision I ever made. It's really sort of, I've grown more as a tutor than I ever did in my teaching years because I've learned so much from other people, especially people from the TTA as well. So really the things I want to do is I want to make sure that people in the Northeast, they get to build something meaningful like I did. So obviously there's a lot going on across the country, but you know, we've got great and brilliant tutors that are growing brilliant tutoring businesses and making connections with schools, but they don't always feel like there's a connection with TTA because they're not in the north, okay, or they're not very close, and things like things that happen for education are normally in London. So for me as a starting point, it's really simple: connection. So I'd really like to bring people together more consistently, not just one-off events, but creating regular opportunities for tutors, for companies in the Northeast, for schools to kind of understand what we're here to do and to support each other, actually feel part of a wider network. Alongside that, I think there's a really big opportunity to raise visibility. Okay, so there's so many tutors that I've been making connections with over the years that do absolutely outstanding work, but don't feel like they're good enough to apply for things like the Tutoring Awards, okay? Because they feel like, oh no, this is just for the big dogs that aren't in the rest of the country. And I want to make everybody feel like they can do that. They absolutely can. And they should be recognised as well. I also want to basically make sure that there's a voice within TTA that I'm quite diplomatic, so I like to see it from a tutor side and from a business side, and I have skills in areas like I specialise in TEFL, but I also worked within primary over different curriculums, IB, Montessori, that aren't the UK curriculum. I work with a lot of schools. We're actually opening alternative provision in September. So I bring a lot of sort of knowledge base around working with these children. So I hope that I will be able to help and be part of the TTA and the board.